flies out.
Oh, dude, what is that?
What's going on, Cody? Welcome to Anything for Reaction. Today I'm going to be reacting to SCP-610, The Flesh That Hates, SCP animation featuring SCP animated Tales from the Foundations by The Rubber. Now this sounds really creepy, and I'm really interested to see this, so it's linked to the original video in the description down below. Also, if you guys are new to the channel, smash that subscribe button. Let's go and check out SCP-610, The Flesh That Hates, SCP animation.
Viewer discretion is advised. As D2 spasms on the ground, his entire body being overtaken by the sickly tan flesh, almost entirely after 45 seconds. D2 is terminated by a gunshot from D1, but that did not stop the spread of SCP-610. Hello everybody, I'm The Rubber. Today, we bring you—
What was that, dude? Oh my goodness, what?
SCP Foundation Keter Class Object SCP-610, Part 1. First, let me introduce my buddy from SCP Animated, Tales from the Foundation.
Yes.
Hi everybody, I'm Dr. K. SCP-610, also known as the Flesh That Hates, appears to be a contagious skin disease, with symptoms including rash, itching, and increased skin sensitivity. Within 3 hours, the disease will cause blemishes, resembling heavy scar tissue to form in the chest and arm areas.
Dude.
Within an additional hour, it will spread to the legs and back, and consuming the victim completely within 5 hours. Exposure to higher temperatures will vastly decrease the time for the contagion to spread, and complete infections have been recorded occurring in as little as 5 minutes.
Thanks, buddy. After the completion of the infection, the victim's life functions will cease for approximately 3 minutes. After that, they will restart at 2 to 3 times the activity rate.
Dude, what's
of the
going on
normal
with his
human.
eyes, though?
Following this, the scar tissue on the victims will start to move and grow at a rapid rate. Normal human features start to disappear at this point. And the path of mutation appears—
Is he transforming like some type? What is going on, dude? He's going through like some type of transformation, though, dude. What is happening, dude?
To be largely random. Victims observed in this stage have been recorded as growing 3 or more limbs like arms or legs. The head may become misshapen.
Dude, he's a zombie. What is going
parts of
on,
the subject
though?
may split open from which additional branches of flesh will grow. But the weird thing is, not all subjects appear to progress to the same stage. There are 2 types of infected victims. One of them will cease moving and place itself in a location and roots itself like a plant. The fleshy growth on the victim will then begin to spread itself across all surrounding objects and consume them.
What is that?
However, this type of infection does not infect living creatures. The other kind of infected victims will immediately seek out aid as natural human impulse, resulting in unintended infection. And those who have lost their human form through the scar tissue phase will actively and aggressively attempt to infect anyone approaching them within an undefined area. If the infected has lost the ability of sight, a range of approximately—
What is that, though? Like, oh my goodness, dude, this creature, though.
30 meters is considered safe.
What is this infection, though?
Initial reports of 610 came directly from the Russian government, after reports consisted primarily of disappearances of farmers in the region, followed by the local police, regional police, and a government dispatched agent all failed to report within a 72-hour period. A small military contingent was dispatched to the area and quickly withdrew, at which point the Foundation was contacted to investigate. The area SCP-610
Dude, I would be too, though,
like,
no lie.
Like,
I'd be like,
in southern Siberia. Areas of known infection are marked on this map. Due to the vast area of infection 610 covers, containment is impossible. Isolation of the area has proved far more effective, and permission has been granted by the Russian government to establish a perimeter to keep people out of these areas. Any living thing coming in physical contact with an organism infected with 610 is considered expendable and is to be immediately terminated.
Why would you touch it? Why are you touching it, dude?
Don't touch that thing. Infected life is to immediately withdraw from the area, be isolated from the rest of their team, and subjected to medical examination and observations. Observation of life infected by SCP-610 by staff is impossible. Hence, observations could only be done by using artificial methods, such as remote robots. The data returned from these observations—
like remote robots, dude? Like, what?
Coupled with the openly aggressive nature of the infected to attempt to spread, SCP-610 has resulted in the Keter classification. However, so long as nothing is allowed to enter or leave the infected areas, it is considered a neutralized threat.
Okay.
But after the cavernous areas beneath the infected settlements were discovered during the exploration, the Foundation sent in research personnel for further investigation. There is a total of 5 field exploration logs for both the remote robot and also the human expeditions.
Robot over there look like the
The first
futuristic
exploration
Wall-E
was
or
done by a
something.
small camera-mounted unit known as Herbie.
Herbie!
was dispatched at a safe distance and directed toward a part of an infected small village, hereafter referred to as Site A. Many of the homes appeared to have suffered fire damage, but a fair amount of buildings are still intact. Through the camera feed, it seems that an estimated population of 79 were infected. Immobile infected are included in this number. However, it is difficult
So are they like in some sort of like trance or something? Because they look like they're like unresponsive or something like that. Dude, what?
to ascertain an exact percentage of mobile versus immobile. After observing the exterior of the village for 2 hours, Herbie was directed to follow an infected known as Alpha as it entered a home. The home contains multiple visible infected organisms, and Herbie's camera was raised slowly as to not draw attention.
Dude, Herbie, get
Alpha
out of
walks
there.
around its
No.
home multiple times before stopping at another infected, hereafter known as Beta, sitting on a bed. Beta is unable to leave the bed for unknown reasons, but is not
Dude.
completely immobile, as it flails its arms
Oh,
in response to the
dude.
beatings delivered by Alpha.
Oh, that is so
Moments
creepy,
later, a
dude.
piercing sound explodes from the area around Beta, who then proceeds to project a cloud of unknown matter into the air from its chest cavity.
Oh,
Alpha
dude,
lingers
what
in the
is
cloud
this,
as it floats in the air around them,
What?
slowly descending to the ground.
yo.
The unknown life form on the table aside Beta begins to twitch in an apparent seizure, and Alpha then laps the room twice more, stopping at each infected organism,
Yo.
but now ignoring Beta. Then Alpha seats itself at the table, reaches out for 3 plates and set it on the table.
What?
After the plates are positioned, the facial tendrils extending from Alpha wiggle up and start to coil on each plate before tearing apart and separating.
yo, what,
Alpha
dude?
then leaves the house. Several minutes later, a
Dude,
group of
what
6 to
is
7
this
infected
thing,
enter the
though?
home. These infected all surround the table,
Oh, no.
and each takes turn consuming the flesh substance left behind by Alpha, pressing it into whatever orifices on their bodies. Some under the
Oh!
arms, some into mouths, some into the chest,
Dude!
some behind their backs. Herbie remains here for several more
Yo!
minutes before retracting its camera and leaving.
Dude, no! Oh my goodness, dude, that is so weird. Oh, that is so creepy, dude. No! Oh my goodness, so what is 610, dude? This is terrifying.
Herbie is then directed to explore
Herbie?
a store. Here he finds more infected
Why,
individuals.
Herbie?
A Russian soldier who doesn't seem to be moving, but his eyes are in constant movement, often focusing on Herbie. In a
Oh,
storage
dang,
area,
dude.
a large pile of bodies are stacked together. Some pieces of clothing are visible and appear to contain both military garb and
What?
everyday clothing. Atop the bodies, an infected
Yo.
sits, appearing to have its lower parts fused to the pile, and with its upper half in a wild state of flailing and seizure. Approximately
Hold
every
up,
10 seconds,
dude.
a burst of spores flies out.
Oh, dude, what is that? That is so creepy, dude. Oh my goodness, that is terrifying, dude. Like, oh, what is it doing,
At the
dude?
top of this infected, which linger in the air. Herbie then leaves the store and passes
Dude,
by
I
the
would too,
village
Herbie,
well,
though. I get it.
surrounding which are a series
Dude,
of
Herbie, I'd
immobile
be out too,
infected,
dude.
all facing the well. The arms of each of these infected individuals are stretched out, one in contact
they
with the next,
doing?
forming a perfect chain. Suddenly, an infected young girl grabs and stares at Herbie. Its face balloons in size and explodes outward into a series of fleshy flaps that grip Herbie and draw it
What
inside
did
of
she
her.
just do, though?
Herbie's video feed terminates here.
Dude, what
5
happened to
hours
Herbie?
later, Herbie's video feed resumed. Herbie's camera pointed at the village well, with a slimy film which often oozes across the lens. Herbie does not
Oh,
respond
that
to
looks,
any remote
that
command,
looks sus,
but
though.
its video jerks back and forth from target to target, zooming in and out of its own accord. Video
What
feed
ha-
is
what did
cut
they
manually,
do?
and all connections to Herbie's unit are ordered erased.
They deleted
The second
it?
exploration on SCP-610 happened during construction of the perimeter surrounding SCP-610's.
Yo, like what happened, dude? Like his camera like went like out, dude. Like what just happened? What did they do?
Containment area. Several Class D personnel were infected. Most of these infected personnel were immediately destroyed with flamethrowers, but a small
Dang.
collection of infected were contained in cold storage units to prolong the progression of infection. In hopes of finding out more information on the origin point of 610, the Foundation sent 3 infected personnel, D1, D2, and D3, into
Yo.
Site C, with a single video system. Site C is in the same infected village with the Site A mentioned earlier, but different spot.
Right.
The 3 infected personnel were given 9mm pistols, gasoline, emergency flares, and some food. They were also instructed to observe
Dude,
and
that thing
avoid
is
interaction with the
creep,
infected
though, dude.
villagers. But if they're attacked by the infected villagers,
Oh,
they're allowed to do as much
dude!
damage to the site as possible
What is
while maintaining
this,
video feed.
though? Like,
As
dang.
D1, D2, and D3 enter the site, there is a noticeable rise in the temperature, which requires a further shedding of garments. One of them immediately noticed a large number of immobile pylons arrayed around the site, separated by an apparent distance of 5 to 6 meters. Each
What
pylon
is
appears to
that?
be
That's
2
a
to 4
pylon?
infected
So they're-
persons, fused together in one
Wait.
spot. Heat vents out of these pylons, and current belief is
Yo, so like they're all like piled up on that dude. Like what, dude? This is like some type of creepy Christmas tree of some sorts, dude. Like, oh my
that this
goodness,
is an
dude.
advanced stage of SCP-610, terraforming its environment to facilitate spread of itself. D2 begins to seizure after
Oh,
only a
they
few
took
minutes in
their-
Site C.
Oh,
The
they're starting
progression
become
to the scar
infected,
tissue
dude.
phase of 610 infection is observed in full course. As D2 spasms
Yo.
on the ground, his entire body being overtaken by the sickly tan flesh, almost entirely after 45 seconds. D2 is terminated by a gunshot from D1, but that did not stop the spread of 610. The
Hold
spread
up.
continues even after death of the body, until all
What?
movement ceases. As perimeter control is relaying new instructions to D1 and D3, video feed shows a flesh-like growth splitting
Wait, so like it can't be stopped or anything like that, so the infection just keeps on going? Like what?
open beneath D2's body, and a series of ropey
What is
tendrils coming
happening,
from within
though?
the gap to pull his corpse inside. This opening closes quickly.
What?
Total time elapsed 3 seconds. D1
Where did
and
he
D3
go, though?
quickly proceed to the village center
Dude, they are
and
gone.
encounter a sphere suspended by angled supports, comprised of both infected humans and a few
Oh.
specimens of non-human life forms such as deer and
What?
bears. The entire sphere
Oh,
of flesh
dude!
pulses at roughly a 5-second interval.
Dude,
And
what
with each
is
pulse
that
emits a
thing?
ring of
Dude,
spore-like
what is
material
that
from its
thing,
equator.
though?
This material
Ooh!
floats to the ground and appears to be absorbed into the converted environment. D3
What?
begins to douse the sphere with the provided gasoline, and a lit
that do
emergency flare is
anything?
applied to it, which immediately goes up in flames. The remote feed plays back an explosive and creature roaring noise from an unknown location that seems to come from a location far outside of
Dude.
Site C, but was reported as being heard even at perimeter control by both Sites C and A. Within 15 seconds following the sound's dissipation, Site A reported that a series of explosions had occurred within the village. 5 seconds after
Dang, so like the whole like village just like exploded or something, or was it the creature
this report,
thing?
the spherical mass in the middle of Site C explodes, and both D1 and D3 are thrown by the blast.
Dang,
D3
dude.
dies instantly, but D1 manages to stand back up. D1's video equipment falls to the ground and was recording in a skyward direction. The last moments of footage from D1's video unit display a humanoid figure unknown creature, steps upon the recording
What?
video equipment and destroys it. Perimeter control remained on
Yo.
high alert for a full 24 hours at all locations
so-
without any incident following this event. The destruction caused by
Dude.
the second exploration resulted in a series of unexpected events in Site A.
Dude, what happened in Site A though? Oh
That
my
being
goodness,
said,
dude.
there's still more to add to the story that indicates the danger and horror of SCP-610.
Dude,
But we will explore the rest of it in Part 2.
Oh my
So,
goodness,
stay
no
tuned.
cliffhanger!
Before we end this video, We are proud to
Oh my goodness, dude. So, like, so I think part 2 came out of the time of this recording today. So I am super, like, interested to check that out, dude. So, I mean, like, yo, this one was just, oh man, dude. Like, that, like, oh man. So it just, like, oh man, I don't even know, dude. So it had, like, an infection or something, and, like, it consumed, and just, like, it just, like, oh my goodness, dude. And it, like, spread. The thing that, like, it spread, like, pretty fast. So that was really interesting, dude. So, I mean, oh my goodness, dude. Like, I don't even know, but I'm super interested to, like, check out, like, part 2, though, because, man, that was, like, super creepy, and just, oh man, though, like, yo, like, oh man, and, like, Herbie went over there, and, like, they lost the feed, and just, dude, it looked like a futuristic, like, Wall-E or something like that, dude. I was, like, thinking, like, dang, dude, like, this is one brave robot. But dude, that was terrifying though. Like, dang, like, the flesh that hates SCP-610. Do not play around, man. I mean, oh my goodness, though. Like, that was, like, super interesting, just super creepy, and oh my goodness, dude, that was just, like, terrifying as well, dude. And oh my goodness, like, dude, like, that was just 610, man, not playing around. And this is just, like, really just so, like, creepy. What do you guys think about SCP-610, the flesh that hates SCP animation? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, click that bell to turn notifications. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. As always, guys, I'll catch you in the next reaction video.